Hello my scrappy friends, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters and thank you for joining me for a Kitaholic Kits design team layout. So I started with cutting my white paper down to 11 inches by 11 inches. I also gutted out my border page and I'm just sticking this on to my border. Then I went ahead and cut out all the little grids from the the grid pattern paper. I'm not sure what you call it. The pattern paper with all the 2x2 squares. I cut all of those out because I have plans for using them all. And in this particular layout, I am going to create almost my own little background. It's like, why did you cut those out, Jess, just to stick them all back on? But I have a plan. So I'm just popping 5 all the way across because, of course, I want a space in between, and I have mounted this onto a grid so I cannot fit the 6 that comes with the paper. And I'm also going to pop a few little extra bits and pieces on top just to give a few of those a little bit of a pop. So that's the exact same flower stuck on top. Wow, I'm a genius. I just love the dimension it adds by popping things up with a little bit of foam. It just gives that little bit of texture and a little bit of extra dimension when you're looking at the page. I'm going to go ahead and do this again with 5 more little pictures. And again, I'm also going to add a few little bits and bobs to these as well. I'm going to cover up the word beautiful, no particular reason. It absolutely could have stayed there, but I really wanted to pop this little teacup on. I'm actually, spoiler alert, going to cover the other teacup in the blue paper in the top left-hand corner as this layout progresses. Popping on a few little flowers on top of that super cute rainbow. I'm not sure why I kept those two together with them both being popped up with a little bit of elements there, but it's no big deal. There she goes. Covered that up with a little cat's head from the sticker book. Now my next row is actually only going to be 2 squares because I'm going to leave space for putting on the photos. Now I absolutely could have kept going with 5 more squares and just stuck the photos on top, but I like the idea of framing out the space where I want my photos to go. It'll help my photos pop just that little bit off the page because they're surrounded by white space and there's no colored background to distract them. It will also help you pay attention to all the little squares around you because they're individualized and they're separated away. Then I'm leaving another white space for where my title's going to go, and I'm finishing up the background by putting 5 more squares down along the bottom. Yes, I am aware that that camera is sideways. Now I'm going to add my few little embellishments on top of these ones to help make these ones pop just a little bit. Some things I am getting from that sticker book and popping those up on foam, and other things are the flowers that we got from the floral pack. I was really umming and ahhing about that butterfly. I really wanted to do something with the butterfly, but I liked the butterfly, so I decided just to make it like a double dimension butterfly and pop a second butterfly up on foam. Wonder how many times I can say the word foam in this layout video. Some of these things I'm covering, I still like the individual square, but I really want to make sure that there's a bit of a spread of different pieces having dimension throughout the whole layout. You may have also noticed that I alternated the white background. So like along the top row, there's a blue background, white background, grey background, white background, pink background, white background, pink background, white background, pink background, white background, green background, white background. So you can see that I'm alternating with the little white background on those 2x2 squares. And the reason why I've done that is just to try and keep it aesthetically pleasing. I was having trouble spreading those white pieces out without having too many sort of in a row or touching each other, and I decided I would just keep it really symmetrical and really planned out like a checkerboard because that way I found it was more pleasing to the eye. I absolutely had intentionally planned to just do it random and not have it planned out at all, but I was finding that there were just way too many white squares and I was ending up with big clumps of just pure all white. And I didn't like the look of that at all, in my opinion. So that's why I chose to do the checkerboard effect. Now I know that I want a little floral cluster over here beside the photos, so I'm just having a play around with the different floral pieces to see how that will look. Now these particular photos are of Thomas. He was doing really well with his nighttime nappies, well, not having nighttime nappies, and so he's overnight toilet training basically. And we said that because he'd been doing such an awesome job, he was allowed to go to the shops and choose a new doona cover. We looked at all different types. We looked at the stereotypical boys ones with the Spider-Man and all of that. We looked at the neutral ones, so just colours and patterns. But he was adamant right from the second when I told him that he could have a doona cover that he wanted a mermaid. So he went with his dad to the shops and they came home with Ariel, the Little Mermaid doona cover, and he is so happy, and we are so happy. Good on him. He knew what he wanted, he chose what he wanted, and he loves it. So we just thought that was super cute, and we thought it was a nice little reward for his hard work of getting up in the night if he needs to go to the toilet and continuing on with that. You will also notice that I have already put the title on. I mostly did that, like I entirely did that off camera. It took me so long. The italicized text I found really tricky to write with or to lay out properly. I ended up using my square ruler. Actually, I don't have a square ruler. That's a complete lie. I have a straight piece of paper. I ended up using my straight piece of paper to make a baseline for each of my 3 rows and make sure I lined those all up perfectly to help with lining up my letters in the correct way. Now, if you could hear the background right now, you would be hearing Thomas have the biggest hissy fit of his life. He is screaming and crying and carrying on because he is so overtired, and apparently his sock got wet. So what I am doing to help distract him and to get those little sookie cries out is asking him, because it's a picture of himself, what stickers he likes from the sticker book. So he chose that love heart and he chose that cat. Now, I would normally put the love heart on the page. That's totally fine. I probably wouldn't put the cat on this page, but it totally works. And he chose it, so I'm so happy to put it on. I need to write that in the journaling when I pop some journaling on later. But it worked so perfectly because he was choosing different stickers. I did edit quite a bit of the him choosing part out because it took quite a while for him to look through the book and find the things that he liked. But it was a perfect distraction to get that little sookie hissy fit to go away, because honestly, wet socks was not the biggest deal in the world, and it just shows that at 5:30 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon, he was cooked, needed to have some dinner and go to bed. So I am going to finish this one off by using the super beautiful Nouveau sprays that came in our mixed media kit. They are super cute. I'm just tapping them on in this particular case. I did go a little bit wild in the top left-hand corner and splatter a little bit more than I would have liked all over the little cat's face. But the colours themselves are beautiful and I love the shininess. These sprays for splattering are really good if you want little tiny splatters. I have discovered today, whereas sometimes it's nice to get a little bit of size dimension, so I might need to have a play with trying to get some bigger blots to come out, but I can't wait to use those sprays again in a different way to really test out those colours. Thank you so much for watching this process video. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video coming up next week. Thanks everyone, have a happy scrappy day.